It's Friday, and you guessed it, that means Q&A coming right up. Hi, I'm Tony Cecchine, and welcome to the channel. This week's question is, what are some of the most basic must-have pieces of equipment for your home fight training? That's a very good question. Well, let's keep it within a budget here, not go crazy. First and foremost, whether you can buy a mat or not, let's discuss that. A mat should be somewhat soft, but really firm. I happen to have two different kinds of mats, and it's not that I bought them intentionally different. It's just the way they came when I went to purchase them from a martial arts school. And they're folding mats now. I no longer have my wrestling mats that I had at the gym. And I have two sizes. One is about 2 inches thick, and another is about 1.25 inches. Now, I would have thought the 2-inch thick mat would have been nice, but actually, it's not so nice. I have them up against the wall, and that helps because that's good for impacts. But walking on them, it's too cushiony. You lose your footing. It's just, you kind of get off balance. So I like, and I'm used to, more of a wrestling mat type. And you can find folding mats that can kind of sort of simulate a wrestling mat, but if you can, try to get a 1.5 inches or less mat. Don't go too thin, but one that when you walk on it, you don't sink. It's not like you're walking on a mattress, because that's going to throw your footing off. If you're not worried about any sort of high impact throws, don't be afraid of a thinner mat. You really need to learn how to break fall anyway and roll out. So if you don't have, and you can get some of these mats, by the way, for not very expensive, $60-$70 for a 4x8, and I would suggest probably at least 2 of them. Ideally if you could get a 16x16, but many of us don't have that kind of room. But maybe an 8x8. Just make sure that they're a little better quality than some cheap vinyl, because they will rip and tear on you. Yeah, you can put some Gorilla Tape on there if you'd like, but yeah, try to shoot for an 8x8 section. If you can't get a mat, either because of space or money issues, try working outdoors, or again, if you're on the ground not doing any sort of impact, you can work out on your carpeting. I would avoid hardwood floors or something in the beginning. It can really take a lot of the fun out of it when you're rolling around on there, and you'll feel every little crevice and crack and whatever. Believe me, for years at the old gym, we wrestled on concrete. We had no mats in the beginning, all right, and it was very hardcore training, and that's not something that I would want to go through again, especially at this age. But yeah, if you can work outside in a grass or somewhere soft, weather permitting or what have you, that's a good alternative. I think another piece of must-have equipment is a heavy bag. Now, hanging a heavy bag properly is really important for strikes, punches, elbows, kicks, knees, what have you. But if you're going to do that, which of course I think you should, make sure that you can also detach the heavy bag rather quickly and by yourself, because that heavy bag can come into play if you're doing some back arch throws or maybe like hip tosses and so on. And it can also help you on the ground. Some of the things that you can do on the ground is practice your spin drills, practice your pinning, or your pressure, I should say, better than pinning, your pressure rides, and you can practice your strikes on the ground, be it elbows, short punches, rips, knees, stomps. This can become very useful. People have always asked me my opinion on grappling dummies, not the wrestling kind, but the grappling kind with the joints. And honestly, I've never used one. I've heard mixed results. I think one of the bigger factors is they're light, okay? And I don't know how well they would work for something like leg locks. I'm sure that they would be fine for arm bars, certain arm bars and chokes. But really, I don't really want to, I can't give an endorsement and I can't say don't. I just don't know enough about it. As I said, I've never used one, and I guess it has its place if all conditions are met. Things like a speed bag can be simulated. You can practice your speed bag in the air if you don't have one, right? Just working your hands. Same with a jump rope. Jump ropes are great. They're inexpensive, but most people don't have the room indoors to do it. So if you can't do it indoors, or you can't go outdoors, either way, you can pretend. Just learning, watch how to jump rope properly, keeping your elbows in, your hands, working your wrist. It's really not the jumping rope itself. The rope isn't really what gets you in shape. It's the plyometrics of it, the jumping, the skipping. Okay, it's to help you become light on your feet, and the rope is just an instrument to help you, and it keeps you from crazy boredom. But look at jumping rope like running in place, which is another fine example of exercises to do if you can't get outdoors. Let's talk about that running in place. I show that on the Lucky 13. Lifting your knees really high, getting that workout, or keeping them short to the ground and getting little quick steps, working on your plyometrics. This is another thing. I know it's not on the subject matter of pieces of equipment, but it's a way to exercise in your house in lieu of going outside or having access to a running track. I think having a comfortable workout attire is appropriate, especially when you're doing some conditioning type of exercises. But many times, when you're training for self-defense, you really should work out in your street clothes. Now, that doesn't mean the exact clothes that you're going to wear if you're going out, but get a pair of jeans, get a shirt or a jacket or something that, you don't mind if it gets messed up, you don't mind if it gets stained or, what have you, but it simulates the actual clothing that you wear, all the way down to your shoes. Lastly, I would say, if you can, either buy yourself a small camera or get a tripod at least and set up your cell phone if it's capable of taking videos, and videotape yourself. This is something that, of course, we never had when I was growing up, but I believe that, and I've discussed this before, is one of the best aids that you can have to increase your ability to learn, and it'll help you in your self-assessment. Just set it up, watch it, review. Well, by no means is this an exhaustive list. I just wanted to keep it simple, something that everybody could probably afford. You can more than likely get all of this gear for $100, maybe less if you look around and buy used, maybe off of Craigslist, or if you have a secondhand, Play It Again Sports, where you can get the heavy bag and maybe some folding mats. Just keep your eyes open for it. No reason to spend a small fortune on this stuff, but I hope it helps you out. I do want to say thanks again for coming here. You know that I'm always available at catchrussell.com. We're inching closer to the membership site. It should be launching in a couple of weeks, which will be very exciting. So if you don't mind, please hit the like and subscribe button and ring that bell. Echo, echo, echo. So you can get updates of all the videos, and especially when I announce the membership thing. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys real soon.